When I say what's good, you say it's all good. What's good? What's good? Is it though? Really, is it though? I mean, there's a lot going on right now. And we, as a society, tend to focus more on what's not good as opposed to what is. Not today. Enter connecting the workplace and life through fun. I believe that it was the great Dolly Parton that once said, everybody wants happiness, nobody wants pain, but you can't have a rainbow without a little rain. But Paul, it feels like we're in the midst of a tumultuous downpour. Will it ever stop? Yep, it will. When you stop focusing on it, when you stop thinking about it nonstop. How many conversations have you had about COVID over the course of the last 3 months? We talk about it, we talk about it, we talk about it, we talk about it, we talk about it. And it never goes away. Why? Because we're so hypersensitive to what's not working, we can't clearly see what is. Today, I am going to overwhelm you with content. I love for people to see me as this unbridled, enthusiastic, energetic guy that is just the life of the party. And then I love hitting those same people in the face with substance. So today I'm going to give you 5 fundamentals. How many? 5. If you guys want to have some fun today, give me a good old-fashioned Mr. Kool-Aid Man or Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You broke the glass and you got a shirt. Well, Andrea, you're going to be excited to see this because you are not going to believe your eyes. You've worked with me before. You understand that sometimes I'm really up here and you need me to be right here. Guess what, sis? I got you. There's learning objectives now. So here's what we're going to accomplish today. We're going to identify ways to substantially reduce judgment of anxiety and discomfort and negative self-talk, all that stuff, right? The vase that's keeping us, Dima, from moving forward. It's just chatter. It's like Dustin Yvonne Drago in her ear from Rocky IV. If he dies, he dies. You will lose. Every time you want to try something new, that negative self-talk is worst case scenario, but what if? For some of you, it's worse in your head than Yvonne Drago. It sounds something like this.
You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die.
Russ, I know you like that one, brother. I just updated my content strategically for you, sir. We're going to work through that. We're going to learn how to create meaningful interactions. Top 3 conversation topics that come up like they're going out of style all the time. You know what they are? What do we talk about all the time? Work, weather, family. Work, weather, and family. How's it going today? How are the kids? How's work? You still working from home? Oh, don't get me started on that. At least the weather's good. What if we could create more meaningful interactions by generating moments that facilitate smiles? I'm going to teach you how to do it today. And then lastly, we're going to establish next steps in manifesting good energy, great relationships, improved business results, and ultimately just an overall better quality of life. How are you going to do that, Paul? Through a concept that I created called the fundamentals, featuring Fundamism. Again, it's called Fundamism. What is it called? Fundamism, defined as the fundamentals of a fun and optimistic lifestyle. Strap in and get your pen ready. We're going to give you 5. How many? Good to see you're still with me. First fundamental. When I say change, you just have to change. Change the way you interact with your staff. Change your whole performance management strategy. Change your mission statement. Change your core values. What does the human side of us want to do when we hear somebody tell us we have to change? Mike Evans, right? We're pushing on each other now, aren't we? So how do you combat that? What if I wasn't asking anybody to change? What if I were to convince you that you already have all the emotions and skills necessary to navigate this life emotionally? You don't have to change a thing, but rather channel your energy. If you've ever been bored, how many of you have ever been bored? Somebody been bored? Oh my gosh, I have nothing to do today. This is so boring. Will this speaker just get to the point? Well, boredom has a dotted line correlation to another emotion in you. That emotion? Relaxation. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. I don't have anything to do today. You, ma'am, what's your name?
Briley.
Paul, it's a pleasure to meet you, Briley. When was the last time somebody curtsied on you? It's been a bit. Brightly, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm so bored, it could be, you know what, this is nice. I'm thankful not to have the responsibility of going to work today and I have a little brain pattern interrupt. Boredom into relaxation. How many of you ever felt anxious? Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. But what if? What if I had to get up here and do a keynote? What if the vase didn't break on the first try? What if I got glass on my brand new tailored shirt that looks amazing? Am I right? Anxiousness, dotted line correlation, excitement. People ask me all the time, Paul, do you ever get nervous when you get up in front of a group? I was sitting backstage prior to an event the other day. They had me sit backstage for 3 hours. I had to watch all the other speakers go up there, but I'm just chilling backstage. Not sure if you understand this about me, but I cannot sit still. So I'm pacing, I'm moving about, I'm just navigating the day, I'm just processing, right? And finally, the president of this organization says, Mr. Speaker Man, hey, Mr. Speaker Man, can you sit the hell down? You're stressing us all out. I said, oh man, I'm terribly saddened to hear that. That wasn't my intent. He goes, are you nervous? I said, no, sir, I'm not nervous. However, do you recall being on the playground when we were kids? And out at recess, there was this core group of people that were over in the corner, and they had this jump rope, right? An individual on both sides of the jump rope, and they were doing the thing, and you had that one person that's chilling in the middle. And what are they doing? They're waiting for the right moment. And then they get in and they, and then they get into it. What are they doing? Double Dutch, right? That's how I feel every time I get ready to do a speaking engagement. Do I believe that I'm going to crush every single speaking engagement? Do I believe that my enthusiasm and energy is going to match every single one of you where you are and where you need to be? No, I don't. But here's what I believe deep down in my heart. Nobody in this room holds my value. You see, I have certain goals when I come up on stage. I want to laugh at all my jokes, and I want to have the best of times. And guess what? I'm undefeated. My point is, if nobody in this room holds my value, then ultimately I can live my authentic self in a liberating way that allows me to accomplish things that many people can't get past through that negative self-talk. You can turn anxiousness into excitement. That's all it is. It's a nervous excitement. Here's another, and the last before we move on to the next fundamental. How many of you have ever been stubborn? Jonathan, you've been there, right? This guy doesn't get me. He doesn't understand me. Try to walk a mile in a magician's shoes and you'll see life just a little bit differently. Stubborn, right? We've convinced ourselves that this reality exists. That if our boss was a little cooler, if they gave us the sales skills necessary to be successful, if indeed the people strategy created an environment where I could be my authentic self, well then maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't wait on other people to create my happiness for me. Well, see, that stubbornness has a dotted line correlation to another emotion, commitment. See, you're just committed to your current perspective, opinion, lifestyle. Now imagine, if you will, I have a pie graph in front of me. It's a pie chart, right? And on this pie chart, it depicts 100% of the knowledge that there is to be had in the universe. Everything that could be known. American Ninja Warrior, Sales Skills 2.0, magic, rocket science, you name it, everything there is to be known is depicted on this pie graph. What percentage would you say that you own? Less than 1%? How can you quantify that, Paul? I can't, and 60% of statistics are made up. But what I think that we could all agree, with all the knowledge that there is to be had in the universe, we know very little. So could that thing that you know better than anybody in the planet, that thing that you're truly an expert on, that your ego's got you walking in the door like the cock of the walk, that nobody can touch you, that maybe, just maybe, you don't know what the hell you're talking about? Maybe if you were as committed to the wealth of opportunity that there is out there that you currently are in your own perspective, opinion, or head, you would experience life in a different way. I'm not asking you to change, I'm asking you to channel. That means sometimes you have to embrace awkward moments. You have to be vulnerable. And you shared some of yours earlier. What's an awkward moment that happens at work? Give me an awkward moment that happens at work. Anybody? Bueller. What's an awkward moment that you wrote down?
When I have to call someone and tell them their credit card has been...
Boom. Credit cards been declined. Used to work in collections, happened all the time. That's awkward. That negative self-chatter, well, how are they going to respond? What are they going to, and so ultimately we're in our head about us. But Andrew, you know this quote, don't worry about what people think about you because they don't think about you. It's not you, it's them. They're thinking about all the things that they're dealing with in their own head, right? Embrace awkward moments. When you realize that you're not as in control of your day as you believe that you are, and ultimately, you just embrace your full authentic self and have fun and live happy, then it is a liberating experience. But you have to differentiate yourself. Now, when you see this bow tie, what do you see? An accessory? Not to me. It's a vehicle to create a meaningful interaction. Because whenever I travel, you know what people always say? Bow ties, huh? You tie those yourself? Oh, Macho Man Randy Savage, woo! Are you always this way? I get that one often. But every time, what that does is it facilitates an interaction. It facilitates conversation. And if I got one person, if I got Lauren listening to what I have to say, just because she bonded over a silly outfit, well, then maybe that will just give everybody else the confidence, maybe, to listen, to give me a shot. Ultimately, it starts with leading with kindness, though. Leading with kindness. I recently heard that if you run into a jerk in the morning, you probably just ran into a jerk. But if you run into a jerk all day long, you might look in the mirror because you might be the jerk. We've all experienced those days. You experience those days where you're like, oh my gosh, what has gotten into everybody? It's like everybody in this organization has taken crazy pills. But if you interact with 7, 8, 9, 10 people and all you feel is drama, what's the common thread? You. So maybe you're manifesting on the outside what you're feeling on the inside. Fifth fundamental, be the change. Instead of waiting for your organization or you to facilitate an environment to create your happiness, what if you owned your own happiness? What if you stopped waiting on everybody else? What if you empowered yourself to create more of what's good instead of waiting for your boss or your leader, your organization, or a speaker's bureau or a speaker to do it for you? If you be the change, let's say, for example, real life example, you wish that people expressed more value in you. You wish that they would say, I appreciate you so much. You, ma'am, what's your name? Paul. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lynn. You know, Lynn, I've been watching you all day long, and I love your smile. I love the fact that you're always engaged and you're taking notes, and that is literally the best feedback that you can give every speaker. It's not a standing ovation, it's taking notes, and I appreciate that about you. If you are an individual that desires more appreciation, and you just consistently wonder why people don't share it, be the change. The first thing that you should do, and this is real life, this is tactical, this is something that each and every single one of us could take away from this session right now, today, on the how. Start by giving out appreciation. If you're waiting on everybody else to express the value in you, maybe start sharing a little more appreciation yourself and see what happens as a result. I'd like to share my appreciation for each and every single one of you. You've been engaged. You've had fun, at least outwardly, based on what you've shown us. And I'd like to give you a gift. So everybody, if you pull out your phones, you open up your camera app, you don't have to take a photo. This is literally a QR code. It's going to give you a free digital download of our Connecting to Workplace and Life Through Fun. It's not a workbook, though, right, Elizabeth? What is it? It's a fun book, because nobody likes work. In that will also be details on how to create more fun in your workplace through something that I just dropped called Fundamism University. From the bottom of all of our hearts, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you for an incredible day.